Hello everyone, my name's Code, and today we're doing something a little bit different. Quite different, actually. There's a lot of people doing these tier lists now, and they're going to be being, they're in my recommended videos and such, so why not do one of my own for the greatest TV series of all time, Making Fiends. I just made this real quick with Tier Maker. I think I'll have the link to this down in the description in case you think my opinion's bad or wrong. These characters. I know it's not every single character, but it's more of the main ones. So let's get started with Buttons 2. He's the first guy here. I don't know how to feel about this guy. He's Charlotte's pet, yeah. He does things. He nearly kills her, which is pretty cool. He has a cool design. I know someone who said he was a crow, and I don't really know how to feel about that. But we'll put him at C for now. He may just stay there. Next we have Charlotte, and Charlotte's already know she's my personal favorite character. She has the most depth besides Vendetta, and you know, it's not really hard to see why. I mean, she is one of the two main characters, and she's the she's arguably the antagonist because the series kind of follows Vendetta more, and so she's kind of the protagonist here. The whole conflict is kind of weird, but I'll probably put her in S because, you know, besides the fact that I'm kind of biased, she's my favorite character, but she's kind of the reason why the conflict's a thing in the first place. Because without her, it would just sort of be like Vendetta ruling over Clanberg and nothing else much really happening. And also because Charlotte's like the most different character on the entire show. A lot of the guys have a bit more of a depressing kind of theme, usually, but Charlotte's the biggest exception to that. It's very glaring. You can definitely tell when she's on screen, you know, and she's a very bright color. Same thing with Vendetta. Next one is Giant Kitty, or Hellcat, as I call him. I mean, he doesn't really have a character, he's just a fiend. That's all that he really is. But he has some good scenes, we gotta be honest. I'm actually gonna increase Buttons 2 to B. I've decided no, because I'm gonna put Giant Kitty at C. Because there's not a lot of scenes with the Giant Kitty. I mean, he's like in the first episode and everything, but I mean, of course, if the series was longer, then obviously it'll be a bit more easy to tell. Anyway, next one is Grudge, which is Vendetta's hamster, who's, you could consider him a main character, but he doesn't say anything. He's just kind of there, and he helps out Vendetta every now and then. He's a bit more prominent in the web series, actually, with the arc that's like more towards the end of it, with Rubella, and he actually has character there. And otherwise, he just kind of like helps Vendetta out every now and then, and that's just kind of it. But I feel inclined to put him on B tier because his, you know, he just has such a presence, and there's like some genuinely funny jokes with him as well. So I'll put him in B, I think. Anyway, Maggie. Maggie is one of the minor characters, but she's the most similar to Vendetta, which I find very interesting. She's very obviously depressed, and she has like a cool. She has like I almost said a cool poem. I won't call it cool. I would call it gothic. Is it gothic or emo, Maggie? We'll never really know. There's a big difference, I promise you. But I always kind of liked Maggie, especially with the whole poem thing. So I'll just say, hey. Sure. Malachi. He says steamed Ed clam, and that's pretty funny. Pretty close to steamed hams, but not exactly the point. Malachi is one of the oddest characters in the entire show, I think, because of his quirk he has, which is that he talks about, I don't know what it's exactly called. It's like Old English, I guess, but. And, like, apparently he doesn't use electronics either, or, like, any kind of, like, electricity. We don't ever see that, but it's just, like, in the character biography on the Nicktoons website when it's still available. I never really liked him. I feel like if you removed him from the show, it wouldn't really change a whole lot. A lot of these other characters have, you know, some episode dedicated to them. Or, you know, they had more moments of shine. Malachi, I think he just gets, like, beat up in episode 1, and then he has, like, a couple other lines, but they're not really funny. His weird old English stick isn't funny, and to me. So, I'll put him in E, actually. Sorry, bud. And next is Maggie. Maggie's interesting because has her own episode. It's more of a Maggie, Charlotte, Vendetta episode, but it's New Best Friend, it's called. And it was actually I remember when I knew making Fiends was a thing again, because I forgot about it since I watched it in kindergarten. I watched the Vegetables episode, and then I never returned to it until like a year later, and I watched New Best Friend. And then I like kind of fell in love with it. And the reason why was because of just how terrified Maggie was of Vendetta. I found really intriguing, like to the level that she was. And it's kind of what attracted me to the character. I think she's a B. No, actually she's an A. I'll actually move Maggie down to B. I don't know why I put her at A. But I think Maggie deserves an A. I think she's... her episode's very good. What was the other one called? This girl? Oh my god, I'm forgetting. Am I mixing up their names? This is Marion. This guy's name is Marion. Jesus Christ. This is Maggie. What the fuck? Okay. I don't have their names written down or anything. This is from the mind, so... Anyway. Here's Marvin. And Marvin has... what was the episode called? It was Marvin's... like, middle managing or some shit. I don't remember. But that's one of my favorite episodes. And Marvin is certainly a fun character. He has the whole, you know, my and then a noun sort of running gag, which is similar to like the SpongeBob my leg sort of thing. So he's pretty funny. I think in the first episode, a banana saved his life, and I've always been wondering what the full story was. I really want to know that banana saved his life. But he's funny. I'll put him in A. Putting a lot of these guys in the higher tiers. I'm not really negative on these guys. Well, except for Malachi. Anyway, Mr. Milk. Mr. Milk has episode 2 Pay, which I think is the longest episode, and it's by far, I think it's pretty considered to be the best out of all the episodes. And for good reason. I mean, I think he's funny, even without toupee, just because Marion's terrified of Vendetta in like a different way than Mr. Milk is. Like, Mr. Milk is very submissive to any idea she has. But, like, and I always find it funny, but like in the episode Toupee, we see a bit more of his like ambitions of being a Swiss banker, of course, and his amazing musical number and how amazing of a singer he is. I always liked him. I don't really... It's just kind of weird. And I mean, of course, you gotta base this off the fact, I already said it, but like, there's only like 6 episodes in the web series, so not a whole lot of information. But I'll put him in A for now. I really like this guy. Miss Minty. She was introduced in the web series, I think it was episode 6 or 9. It was called Miss Minty. She's single, by the way, because it's MS, I think. Yeah. And that's all I can say about her, I guess. She's kind of like Charlotte, and I don't really understand too much decision for that. Well, I mean, except for the fact that it's funny. A lot of these things are supposed to be... a lot of the characters are supposed to be gags, really. In the web series, she was just a minor character for one episode. But I think in the TV series, they're planning her to be a bigger character. But we never really saw any of that. So she's just kind of like, eh. I mean, I don't know if I can imagine there's a full character in the TV series because I already have Charlotte. And also her grandmother, which isn't in this list. So I'll switch the places between Malachi and Miss Minty. Oh, there's something else I just want to add that isn't making things related, but tier list related, is I see a lot of guys, when they're doing the tier list, they just put the guys down at a rank and they don't switch them. Like, they don't really change their mind, and I don't know why. Personally, I'm changing my mind all the time when I'm doing this. I don't have an exact idea. Next one is Mort. Mort is a character in the TV series only, and the only time I ever get to see him in episodes is that he screams once, or like twice maybe, and like that's kind of it. So he had a character in the biography thing on the Nicktoons website, which said he was afraid of soda cans or something. I don't really know. And he's just really short and he's kind of weird. He was playing cards with Maggie. I guess they might be friends, maybe? Mort's just a character, and he has a weird design, and I don't like him. He's F. Oh, did the thing just lock up? Oh, that's cool. Oh, guys, look, we're back. Hopefully this time we'll bug out. I truly love websites that work perfectly, you know? They're just kind of my thing. Alright. So, Mort is F. I actually think Tier Maker is like, oi, you put my boy Mort at F tier? What's wrong with you? And it tried to fuck me up, but guess what? Didn't fuck me up. I'm back here. So, the last character is Vendetta, who is the main character, I would say. Arguably, because you can say Charlotte's the main character or Vendetta's the main character. They're both the main character, but I mean, who's more main, I guess. But everything revolves around Vendetta. Like, the whole reason the conflict between Clanberg exists because of her. Somehow, she managed to take over the whole town with some cool monsters called Fiends. And I don't really know how that works. I don't really, like, where'd she even get the things that make the Fiends? Like, can you just buy it on Amazon or something? I don't know. But she figured out a way. I don't think I liked her at first. I think a lot of people think Vendetta's the best character. And people say Charlotte's just worse. I don't know how true that is. This is what I see. But I'll put Vendetta also at S, you know? I like her more, like, after watching it, like, again and again, you know? The voice actor, Aglaia Mortshave, I think I pronounce it, does a very good job. The voice, I remember the first time hearing it, and I was really confused. It sounded awful to me, because it was so foreign and weird. But after, like, getting used to it, I started to really appreciate the voice. I think it's a perfect one. And I just kind of like, I mean, Vendetta making Fiends is just a cool thing, and there's a conflict between Charlotte in general, which is funny. Just Charlotte and Vendetta, when they just get into a room, it's just funny shit. I gotta be honest. It's just comedy gold. Anyway, that's my tier list. My first one ever. I mean, not my first one ever, but my first one ever on this YouTube channel. So, here it is. Now, if you have any better opinions, like a better opinion on this tier list, I'll give you a link to this. If you think you can beat me, the biggest Making Fiends fan ever, or at least the second biggest Making Fiends fan. Anyway, my name is Code. I hope you enjoyed, and have a fantastic tubular day.